Hello everyone, I am Dr. Mrigendra Pratap, currently working as an assistant professor at the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, Pune. I am going to present a model on the Buddhist tourist sites of Dharamshala and McLeodganj. The objective of this model is to present a history of a modern Buddhist tourist sites located at McLeodganj, Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh. It also underscores a brief biography of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, who has played a key role in the establishment of this Buddhist center. McLeodganj, located in Dharamshala, is known for being the home for the Dalai Lama and has become a popular destination for tourists and researchers interested in Tibetan culture and Buddhism. McLeodganj was originally a British hill station, but since the arrival of Tibetan refugees in 1959 and the establishment of the Dalai Lama's residence there, it has become a significant cultural and a spiritual hub for Tibetans in exile. The Tibetans in McLeodganj have made efforts to preserve their traditions and culture as much as possible in exile, which has drawn the attention of tourists, researchers and Tibetologists to the region. Now I will give a more light on His Holiness the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama, whose title translates to Ocean of Wisdom in Tibetan, is one of the highest spiritual leaders in Tibetan Buddhism. The current Dalai Lama is Tenzin Gyatso, who was born into a humble farming family in 1935 and was recognized as the reincarnation of the previous Dalai Lama at the age of 2. He received a rigorous education based on the Nalanda tradition, covering subjects such as logic, Sanskrit grammar, medicine and Buddhist philosophy. At 23, he earned the highest doctorate in Buddhist philosophy, the Geshe Larampa degree, with honors. However, his responsibilities expanded beyond his spiritual duties when China invaded Tibet in 1950. He assumed full political power and attempted to find a peaceful resolution by meeting with Chinese leaders in Beijing. Despite his efforts, the situation worsened, and in 1959 he was forced to flee to India after the brutal suppression of the Tibetan national uprising. Since then, the Dalai Lama has been living in Dharamshala, India, tirelessly promoting peace, compassion and human rights and preserving Tibetan culture and religion. He has been recognized and admired worldwide for his unwavering commitment to the well-being of all sentient beings, as a beloved spiritual leader and advocate for a peace. The Dalai Lama has been at the forefront of democratizing the Tibetan administration in exile. He presented a draft democratic constitution for Tibet in 1963 and implemented reforms to promote democracy and freedom within the Tibetan community. In 1992, guidelines were published for the constitutions of a future free Tibet, envisioning a federal and democratic system. As a result, the Tibetan administration in exile was fully democratized in 1990 with the direct election of political leaders and the dissolutions of the Tibetan cabinet. The Dalai Lama has since devolved his political authority to the elected leadership and referred to himself as a retired since 2011. He is renowned for his advocacy of non-violence and efforts towards the liberation of Tibet. He has received numerous awards and honors, including honorary doctorates for his message of peace, interreligious understanding and universal responsibility. He has engaged in dialogues with leaders of different religions, promoting interreligious harmony and collaborating with scientists in various fields in integrating modern science into the traditional curriculum of Tibetan monastic institutions. His holistic approach to peace includes addressing global environmental problems and promoting compassion, making him a universally recognized leader for peace and enlightenment. On March 14, 2011, the Dalai Lama requested the Assembly of Tibetan People's deputies to relieve him of his temporal authority, formally ending the tradition of Dalai Lamas holding both a spiritual and political authority in Tibet. He intended to focus solely on spiritual affairs, following the example of the first 4 Dalai Lamas. He also declared that the recognition of a future Dalai Lama should be decided by the Tibetan people, Mongolians and people of Himalayan regions, with clear guidelines published in 2011 to ensure transparency and prevent deception. The Dalai Lama had been awarded numerous prestigious honors and accolades, including the Nobel Peace Prize, a Templeton Prize, US Congressional Gold Medal and Presidential Medal of Freedom, among others. He has also been granted honorary citizenship by several countries and bestowed with numerous honorary doctorate degrees from universities worldwide, totaling over 200 awards and honors according to his website. These recognize his extensive contribution to peace, compassion and human rights. In conclusion, the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, is a revered spiritual leader, advocate for peace and promoter of democracy, human rights and compassion. Despite facing challenges and living in exile, he has made significant contribution to humanity and has been recognized with numerous awards and honors. There are several attractions in McLeodganj that showcase Tibetan culture and Buddhism. The Suglak Khang complex, also known as the Dalai Lama temple complex, is a significant place related to Buddhism in McLeodganj, Dharamshala. It includes the Suglak Khang temple, a museum, a library and a meditation hall. Other notable places related to Buddhism in the area include Namgyal Monastery, Norbulingika Institute, Nechunga State Oracle Library of Tibetan Works and Archives, Nechung State Oracle Library of Tibetan Works and Archives, and Tibetan Medical and Astrological Institute. There are other famous monasteries, Kalchakra Temple, Kirti Temple, Gyuto Tantric Monastery, etc. These attractions make Dharamshala a popular destination for those interested in Tibetan culture, Buddhism and the plight of Tibetan refugees. So, now I will give information about Suglak Khang complex and Namgyal Monastery. Suglak Khang, also known as the Dalai Lama's temple complex, is a world renowned religious center and home to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It is a popular destination for Buddhist pilgrims and consists of the Photang Dalai Lama's residence, Tibet Museum, Suglak Khang Temple, Namgyal Monastery, Library, etc. The complex serves as a temple, residential complex and cultural hub for the Dalai Lama and his followers.